Hey everyone, Tim and Mina with Kozy Homestead. Today we want to do a video on prepping and why we prep and some prepping basics. So why do we prep? Well, there's a number of reasons. One is because of weather. I can tell you that where we are, a few years ago there was a storm that came through and power was out for like 5 days. So nothing was open. If it was open, it had minimal service. I can tell you that there was one grocery store near us that actually had a backup generator and they were able to provide food. Unfortunately, living that way, buying your pre-made meals from a grocery store, stuff like that, is more expensive than if you do it yourself, right?
Yeah.
So, we decided that, we're going to continue to prep. I mean, we were prepping before that. My wife never really understood why. But then when the scam happened, you know what I'm talking about, the cupcakes, all that stuff. She understood. Everybody went to the grocery store. They bought all the bread and milk so they could make their milk sandwiches, and they bought all the chips so they could, have a side of chips with their milk sandwiches. And they also wiped out the paper products, toilet papers and stuff like that. So once that happened, I asked Mina, I said, and I'm sure you remember this conversation.
Yeah.
I asked her, I said, so how do you feel about us prepping now? And her response was, do you remember? She said that she was comfortable. She's glad we have it, but she thinks we need more. So then we started to prep some more. Now, then that was when they did the school shutdowns. Okay. Of course, school shuts down. Everybody's got to go out and get bread, milk, and chips, and toilet paper, so they can keep their kids fed at home. So I don't know about kids these days that like those milk sandwiches, but there's other things that you can do to make sure that you're ready for an event like this. You look at what happens with other weather, like look at what happened to Houston a couple, 2-3 years ago, where they had that storm come through and people were without power for a week, 2 weeks. Now this sometimes is common, especially up in the Northeast, like Maine, stuff like that, when they get their ice storms. So for it to happen in a place like Houston, it's not very common, and that's why you should be ready. You look at everything that happens to me with the grid issues, losing power. There's times we'll lose power where we are. I mean, sometimes it's only a few hours. Sometimes it's a few days, 4 days, 5 days. So it's better to be ready. Okay. There's other events that people prep for. Some people prep for nuclear war. Some people prep for an EMP. Some people prep for they prep for all kinds of different stuff. You can't approach prepping like that. You should approach, when you prep for every situation, every scenario. Okay. So you look at everything that's happening in the world right now. You've got Christians being murdered over the holidays in Africa. Mainstream media, quiet about it. But when they aren't quiet about it, what are they saying is the cause? Climate change. Climate change is the reason why Christians are being murdered in Africa by Boko Haram. Really? Are people really that dense? They're blaming people being Christians being murdered on climate change? You look at what happened with Israel. People are saying that Israel deserved it. Really? These innocent women and children, babies, deserve to be murdered, raped, beheaded?
No.
There's something wrong with society when they're saying that people deserve this kind of treatment. Terrorism is terrorism. It's that simple. But I digress. Let me get back to the prepping part. So, you look at cattle. The number of cattle that are being slaughtered, all in the name of
climate change?
Yeah. Climate change. Because their poop is destroying our atmosphere.
No.
Really?
Poop can fertilize the land.
Exactly.
Soil.
Yep. you know, if you actually take and look at where most of the pollution comes from, unfortunately, most of it comes from Asia, India, China, stuff like that. So if you want to do something about pollution and climate change,
Plastic.
do something about the plastics. You know, all these people that complain about climate change, they're all using plastic products.
Yeah.
You know, you go to a store to get a coffee, they give you a freaking paper straw that disintegrates in like a few minutes. But they give it to you in a plastic cup with a plastic lid. Kind of hypocritical. You know, if you want to go about something with the atmosphere, go for the people that are really polluting the atmosphere. You look at the chickens. Everybody remembers this past year when the price of chickens went through the roof. Why? Because believe it or not, there is a plan for only one company to produce chickens. One company to produce all the eggs for the United States. You know, you look at these people that are buying up all this agricultural land, not using it. Bill Gates. But no one is doing anything about it. Mainstream media isn't reporting on this. Why? Because it's an agenda. Okay? So, with that, I'm going to talk about some prepping basics. Now, one thing that me and Mina do when we go to the grocery store is every time we make a visit there, we see what's on sale.
Yeah.
And we will actually buy bulk meat when it's on sale. If they've got whole pork loin for $1.98, $1.99 a pound, we're buying 6 of them. We'll bring it home. We'll make our own sausage. We'll make our own Canadian bacon, our own meatballs, all kinds of stuff. And we do the same thing with the whole chuck roast. I mean, we did a short video on that as well. You buy a whole boneless chuck roast.
Grind it.
And you package it.
Sell it.
And eventually, once our freezer starts getting full, we'll actually start taking stuff and we'll start canning it. We'll can the meats. We can bacon. Mm-hmm. We've got canned maple smoked bacon in our preps. It's not hard. So we'll go and we'll actually look at canned goods. And we'll get 3 to 5 pieces of canned goods every time we visit a grocery store. We buy stuff that we like. We don't buy stuff that we do not like. Now, there's some stuff that the wife likes that I don't like, and some stuff I like she doesn't like. But we both know that when the time does come,
you're going to eat it.
Yeah, you're going to suck it up and you're going to eat what's put in front of you.
No matter what, you have to eat it.
That's right. Okay. So I'm not a big fan of sardines. The wife, she loves sardines. Mm-hmm. Time comes, guess what? I'm going to start to enjoy some dang sardines. I'm not going hungry. And that's just how you do it. You know, you figure if you go to the supermarket, even just once a week, and say you buy 5 canned goods every week, you put them on your shelf, you arrange them by date. Yeah, oldest in the front, newest in the back. Mm-hmm. And you start your rotation process. So you make sure that the stuff that you're buying is stuff that you're also going to consume. And as you eat those products, you replace them. Yeah. Exactly. You know, I can tell you that we'll go, our store will have a sale where beans like kidney beans, lima beans, butter beans, all that stuff is 58 cents a can. Well, we'll buy 10 cans. And then we'll bring them home and we'll rotate them. You know, but we make sure that we buy stuff that we enjoy. We don't buy stuff that sucks, that we don't like. You know, I can tell you this, we don't buy a canned luncheon meat anymore simply because my wife makes it. She learned how to make the luncheon meat. And let me tell you, it's better than the store brand. And we're going to do a video of that coming up here in a little while as well because we're about ready for needing some. So we're going to make that and we're going to can that as well. So just do stuff like that, even rice. Now, we buy rice, flour, cornmeal, oatmeal, instant potatoes, all that stuff. We'll bring it home and we'll put it in mason jars and we'll dry can it. Now, a lot of people don't approve of dry canning, but let me tell you something. You take that product with flour, bring it home, put it in your freezer for 72 hours. Mm-hmm. After that 72 hours, you bring it out of your freezer, put it in your fridge. Because if you bring it out of the freezer, put it on your counter, it's going to condensate. The package is going to start to sweat. You don't want that. So you put it in the fridge, let it come down to that temperature, then you bring it out onto your counter. So you do that with your rice, your oatmeal, all that stuff. And it's pretty much going to kill everything that's in there, if there is anything in there. Then you put it in your canning jars. You put it on a cookie sheet, put it in the oven. No lids, no rings. Okay? You heat your oven, it's about
150 to 100.
150, 200 degrees, like the wife said. And you just cook it for 20 minutes.
No, 20, 30 minutes.
Bring it out. Put your lid on, put your ring on. It will self-seal because of the heat. Now, anything that's in there is dead. And now you've got a product that's going to last a lifetime. Now, this is just what we do. We're not saying that this is approved by anybody or that, you can just go ahead and do this. You do what you want to do. We're going to do what we do.
We're just sharing.
Yes. We just share what we do. Okay? Not saying you have to go do this. Not saying it's safe. Not saying it's not safe. But we're saying that it works for us. This is what we do. It works for us. And we use the stuff that we dry can. I've canned banana nut bread. Zucchini bread, and they're good, but it works for us. You do what you're comfortable doing. That's all we're going to say. Okay?
Yeah, you have to do something for a living.
Yeah. So like I said, continue to stock food that you enjoy. Okay? Don't go buy something that's going to sit on a shelf that you're not going to use, then next thing you know, it goes to the best buy date. And you automatically throw it away because it's past its best buy date. Now, there is information out there. I'm sorry?
Yeah, you can continue.
Okay. There is information out there about the best buy date. Now, in the past, it was an expiration date. But the problem was companies were putting expiration dates on these products. And when people saw it was expired, they would toss it. Because they would think it was no good anymore. It wasn't safe to eat. Okay? I can tell you that, now again, this is just us. This works for us. So not saying you have to do this or that it's approved or anything. I pulled canned goods off the shelf that were expired for 2 years.
And it's still
Cooked
good.
them, and we ate it. We're just fine.
Nothing happened. Still alive.
Yeah. Now, the thing you got to keep in mind is, this is stuff that we still do rotate. And some of the stuff we actually store in other containers as food kits. So with the best buy date, remember, it's a best buy date. There are no more expiration dates, even on milk. We've got a gallon of milk in our fridge that's halfway used. The best buy date was January 5th. Here we are, January 10th, January 11th?
11th.
January 11th, and guess
Still
what?
good.
We're still using the milk. And it's still fine. So you got to figure out what works for you, what's best for you. These are just things that we do, and everything works for us. Okay. What else? What else? What other kind of foods do you think? Pasta, rice, flour, oatmeal, instant potatoes.
What else do we have there? A lot. Jam, jelly.
Yeah. Even bratwurst. We can bratwurst.
Oh, bratwurst.
Yeah. We can.
Oh, yeah, we canned it.
Yeah. Actually, she canned it. I was at work one day before I retired, and she took the bratwurst, all the bratwurst we had in the freezer, and she canned it. Came home, and I was very surprised. I was happy because that's something that's going to last a lot longer now because it's canned.
Potatoes.
Yeah, potatoes. We do potatoes. I mean, there's so much stuff that we can. Pickles. Like she said, jellies, jams, preserves.
What else we have there?
We have cornmeal mix, cornmeal.
Yeah.
So much stuff.
Cornstarch.
Yeah. Oh yeah, cornstarch. We can cornstarch. Baking soda, baking powder.
Yeah.
All that stuff. We've got all that stuff canned, ready, prepped. Okay. Now some other stuff for prepping basics. Go to Dollar Tree. They have those tall white candles. They're like $1.25 each. Let me tell you, we lit one just to see how long it would last. And it lasted a long time. I mean, it burned, didn't even go halfway through it, and it was only 8 hours. So that's a good one to prep. Now, keep in mind that most candles out there are made with paraffin wax.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Now, my wife, she's really bad asthmatic. Okay. So that's why we make our own candles, and we simply just use beeswax and coconut oil. Okay. That's all we do. That will burn a lot cleaner, and the candles we make actually last the
20 hours.
the small ones about 25 to 30 hours, and the big ones about 50 hours. Okay. And it burns a lot cleaner. It doesn't affect her asthma. We can't really use scented candles much because even that fragrance, some of them are really overpowering, and it really affects her asthma. So we really take all that into account when we prep stuff. Okay. Matches, candles,
hand soap, lotion.
what else? Batteries.
Yeah.
You know, batteries. She makes her own hand salve, lip balm, laundry detergent, soaps. You know. Now, one of the things that we also do is we have a bidet hose. When the time comes, no toilet paper.
Yeah.
You
Tabo.
know.
Filipinos use tabo.
Yeah. You know, everyone needs to start going back to the old ways. Just like she said, the tabo. That's how they wash after they're done going to the bathroom. You know, and it works.
I don't like paper.
Toilet paper.
Toilet paper.
So, you know, just think of the small stuff. And you go to a store like Dollar Tree, or you see what's on sale somewhere. You know,
just look for a sale.
Yeah, and I'll tell you that we do that a lot. We shop by sales, and it really helps us. Yes, sales and in bulk. You know, like batteries. We'll go to our membership store, and we'll wait for the batteries to go on sale. They'll knock $3 off the price, and we'll buy a couple of packs of each.
Flashlights. Make sure you have flashlights.
Flashlights, lanterns.
Lanterns. Yeah.
You know, even look on Facebook Marketplace. You know, you look there, and you can find some prep stuff that you can use. One of the things I'm going to do probably later today is I'm going to do a video where I review a tabletop propane stove. Okay. Yeah. And it's actually a dual fuel butane propane. So that's why I want to do a review on this. You know, it's good to have a backup for your backups, and I'll talk more about that in that video later today. But can you think of anything else for basic preps?
You say it all.
Okay.
Everything we did, we do.
Yeah. And now that we're both retired, I mean, we both retired early because we're blessed. We're both able to retire early. I've still got a few years before I can start collecting another pension. But we both retired early, and we're enjoying life together, and you know, we're just doing things to make sure that our family is safe and stable.
Just prepare and pray.
Always pray.
Always pray.
Always give your problems to the Lord, and just remember, y'all take care, stay blessed, look out for one another, love thy neighbor.
Thank you.
See you all in the next one.